You're listening to the Court of Public Opinion, some news bite information that I just wanted to share. That this will be the first time in 100 years that Penn State will be not playing college football this fall because of the COVID restrictions and scandemic. And in other news, the news of Wendy Bell has continued to drag out in social media. It is still a big story about what the future for Wendy Bell because of her comment about the statues that if there was vandals that they should be shot on sight. This is dragging out so that you know. Okay, other news. Old news, new news, topics that we can discuss. You bring it to my attention. You can email me at mossyrosefield@gmail.com. There's probably a couple of stories I didn't want to miss. Two 21-year-old females assault a 7-year-old for being a pro-Trump supporter. And there's probably going to be a lot more of those type of stories coming up next. Let me see. I wanted to make sure that we got some stories here so that we could keep you informed on, some other updates from old stories. So here we are. We're at the Court of Public Opinion, where views and opinions are expressed independently. You can have your own view. You do not have to be a part of a group think or a think tank or part of a panel to have views and opinions expressed here at this podcast. I really think this story should still be about Wendy right now because Wendy's getting chastised for saying those comments, and your freedom of speech allows you to speak freely. What they're not allowed to do is fire somebody over your free speech. Your free speech is your free speech. If there was no free speech, there would be no radio. I mean, to be quite honest, if everybody got fired for saying things that wasn't popular, no one would have a job in radio. That's why radio is a very hard medium to work in. And this is why we only do podcasting. We do not do radio. Podcast is just expressing views and opinions like this that we're doing right now. I'm not a radio announcer. I was a radio host for a show for a very short amount of time, and it's a very hard career to make a living. So for the purpose of ratings, I guess they're going to keep dragging it out, because I guess it's such a big story, you know what I mean? And they're probably hurting as far as ratings. So that's what I think. As far as the scandemic, well, there's a lot of things we can't do today because of the scandemic. And the things that we used to normally take for granted, like just going to the store without having to wear a mask and all these things. So September 15th in Harrisburg, I believe there's going to be a rally. I'll double check on this information about a no mask mandate. There's also more news on Governor Wolf's impeachment, and you're going to want to stay tuned for that here in the local region here in Pennsylvania. Thank you for listening to the Court of Public Opinion. The Court of Public Opinion is a part of the Amateur Radio Network.